And welcome back to my Jay Bird. And this is game three, remembering 76 in the 77. Uh, and we're bringing you these unique games and how I played starting 76 and 77. And this game, I didn't do this opening back then, but we're bringing the old and the new and we're mixing them up. Some are really quite unique and some are just straight up simple. This one's pretty simple. Okay, this is Nightbird Tower to bot 1500. No hours, no assistance, no help of any kind to beat this bot. And let's get down to it here. With e4, whoops, if e4, e5, f3, d6, d4, takes d4, takes d4, e6, trying to build my tower, but this thing gets aggressive. It gets kind of hard when it gets aggressive, but like I said, defend and build at the same time. After e6, b4, I go c8, g3, 90 over d7, g5, 90 up. Nothing can touch this knight. Well, he could run his bishop out, but in case he wants to take it, I'm going to replace it with this knight. After c5, f3, I go h6, takes e6, takes e6, f4, e7, and there's your Nightbird Tower right here. The Nightbird would be this way, just called up straight Nightbird, but this is the Nightbird when it stands on a tower like this. And sometimes the pawn structures go up, and you see my multi-towers, and you're going to see some more things going on the next couple videos. Okay, after e7, aggressive here again, f5, just keeps push, 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 push. This is all they've been doing. And what I've been learning was, this scrappy way of playing chess, it's nuts. But there's a madness to it that you can figure out. You just got to pay attention and watch, defend, and move your pieces right. After f5, I go back to c5 again. Like I say, the only thing is a pawn or this bishop that's going to ever touch this knight. After c5, he goes e3. Now look at this. Look at this. When I saw this, I thought, well, if he takes, he's been taken. I'm going to take. And if he takes, he got off this square here. So I thought, well, if he does that, I'm putting my bishop up here, because if he does that, I'll be able to get this pawn and get his rook. So let's see. After e3, I go f6. Let's see what he does. If he pushed, I'll just take it. Or he could have just sat here. Then I would have had to think again all over about something else. But I thought about that one. After f6, he takes c5. I take c5. And I couldn't believe it. He takes c5. I take b2. He comes down with a check. Well, I thought, well, all right, you still can't touch me. What do you got here? Maybe you could throw a check, and then I throw my knight, and then maybe I saw you could steal a pawn. Maybe, there was all kinds of things going in my head after this, But I wasn't even worried about it because, oh no, he couldn't do that because the bishop. That's right, I do remember this. And then, but he couldn't. I said, see, this one just drives me crazy. My bishop's here, so he couldn't do all that. I had to tell myself, wait a minute, that's crazy. After b5, I go c6. He castles like it's nothing. There's no problem. Guess what? I didn't take it. If I take it, the queen takes it, check, and then he goes and steals my bishop. Nope. After castle, a1, I take. Now he moves d3. I mean, there's a reason for that, and I had to look at that. I said, why? And that was the reason. He would have just stole my bishop. I wouldn't have did it all for nothing. After d3, f6, I brought it back. c4, e7, d4, 90 up, f6, e5, because he got aggressive. Watch this. because his aggressiveness got him into his own mess. After e5, d5, he goes f6, I take f6, he takes f6, and see, this is all this bot does. This is what they do. They just come and screw everything up, make a mess of everything. Look at this. All right, after f6, I go up d6, he takes d5, I take d5, he takes d5, and I thought, well, you just made a mess. Look at this. This is a total mess. And then I saw it. c5 check, forcing. c5 takes, c5 check, moves, castle. Okay. All right. Because I got something out of all this, because he's just kept attacking and pushing and attacking and pushing and attacking and pushing. Well, after castle c1, now he's done. I go b6. I lock this up because I don't trust it. I'm making sure before I go any further, this thing don't try to pull any tricks because it's too aggressive. After b6, f1, I go d6. I put it here to make him think that I'm getting this pawn, but actually I'm going to double up and then go in the back. After d6, c1, d8, e1, d1, takes d1, takes d1, g2, b1 takes, h3, b2, f1, takes c2, a4, a2, g4, clean up the pawns first, a4 takes, e1, a2, keep him in the back now, f1, a5, e1, a4, g5, takes g5, take care of that business over there, d1, a3, c1, h2, h4, takes h4, d1, a2, e1, queenie, and that's game. Let me take you back. So I did get the night tower in. The Nightbird tower in, but this, all of them are, now I got the 16, the 17, and the 1800 coming up, and I just beat the 1900 today, and the towers are getting more advanced here. They're getting and more harder and complicated to get done. But like I say, I'm not doing it to get an ELO. I'm doing it for a couple reasons. To really get my opening perfected, 1. 2, because I know the opening's 2900. I already have the tower, multi-tower out there ready on my videos against the Super Grandmaster 2900. So I know it works. Thing is, it's just not as easy as you think. So I got to watch. I look. I'm trying to perfect it. This is a good move here. Game goes like this. And I knew he was going to do that. That's why I put that knight over there in the first place. Because that's... Now I go in the Nightbird tower there. Of course he attacks. Go right back. I moved the bishop. Once he moved that, I'm looking at this. Well, what else can I do? And I saw he undefended this. Because I knew his wait. If he takes, I take, he's off this lane. I got him. And he did do it. I couldn't believe it. I says, nah, you're really going to do it? And he did. Then he runs that down. Okay, I just pushed the pawn up. Where is it? There's nothing here. Those two pieces, it can't be enough. I don't believe it. Now, and I kept thinking he was going to go over here the whole time too. But the bishop's there. I said, wait, my bishop's there. What am I thinking? Unless he pushes the pawn. But he goes this way, but I'm still going to take the rook anyway. So I'm going to get up. I'm getting up no matter what happens over here. After that, he castles, and I thought, well, wait a minute, what is this? Oh no, I'm not. I thought, I didn't even really look. I said, no, I'm getting my rook first. I didn't look into it, but now I seen it. He'll throw a check and then steal my bishop. I fell for too many tricks like that, thinking everything was cool, and it's not. And this is how the game went down. I really believe I made my moves right here on this game. I mean, it screwed up my whole situation, but... And then the check. And to me, that all fell in place perfectly. Castle. I just protect all that and now go play the game. I was going to double up no matter what. I went here. No, I don't even want the pawn. That's not it. He's in the back lane. You double up. He's got to get a king out. I want to get rid of that rook so I can run around with the other rook and just take all his pieces. Well, he got it. And it's a 1,500 pot too. I mean, it got a little tricky, got too aggressive, and tried to get tricky at the same time, but it wasn't enough to take me down. And that's game. Okay, thanks for stopping by, and we're going to have some more remembering 76 and the 77.